Hey everyone, it's your girl Layla. Welcome back to my channel. Okay guys, welcome to the very first episode of Spooktober 2025. I am continuing on this tradition, you guys, even though it's been really hard this year for me to find haunted places to go to. I've just had an insanely busy year, as you guys may or may not know. I haven't even uploaded any vlogs recently just to update you on my life or anything like that. I'm so behind on everything, including hiking vlogs and vacation vlogs, just everything. But I have some footage from last year. I kind of just know that I need to always have some backup footage just in case this happens. But if you guys have any suggestions on haunted places that I should visit this coming October, please let me know, because I'm gonna struggle because I only have 2 videos in my mind so far. This one and another one, like scary and cool things that I found in the forest on my hikes and stuff like that. That'll be upcoming as well. But other than that, I need a couple more ideas for the rest of the month. But yeah, I'm gonna be trying to upload all these Spooktober videos every Wednesday in October as per usual. So yeah, this one is gonna be fun. This is basically based on a ghost tour that I did last October. I didn't have room for this video in my last year's Spooktober lineup, so it's gonna be featured now. And I'm really excited to share it with you because we're going back to my roots. We're going back to Calgary and its haunted buildings and haunted places in Kensington, because I did a whole video on Inglewood and I'm very happy to do one on Kensington because I really like the area, the neighborhood, and it has a lot of history. So if you are not already subscribed, please go ahead, click that subscribe button below. I upload 3 times a week, Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday. And of course, my Spooktober videos are gonna be every Wednesday for the month of October. So let's get right into the video, you guys. Okay, as I mentioned, I did a ghost tour last October that took us all over Kensington. We were not allowed to record or anything like that, but I just kind of like recorded the, what is it called? The places that we went to. I recorded like the school and the hospital and just like kind of around places nearby, and then I kind of went back and did my research on each place just to confirm that it's haunted. And a few of the places that we went to unfortunately are not actually haunted. I couldn't really find any info on some of the places, but I'm going to give you guys some honorable mentions on those buildings as well because they contain a lot of history. But we did start off at the Hillhurst Elementary School, and now this definitely looks like, you know, an old haunted sandstone building, very reminiscent of places like the Lougheed House here in Calgary. We have a lot of historic buildings like this one and a lot of schools that kind of look like they're from this era. But yeah, this is where we started our ghost tour, and the ghost that haunts the Hillhurst Elementary School is named Stevie. His real name was Ernest Stevens, but he was known as Stevie, and he was the janitor at the Hillhurst Elementary School. He worked at the school for a pretty long time. He worked there from 1912 to 1928, and he died of a heart attack in the caretaker suite of the school. So he actually died right there on the premises. So, you know, of course, when you spend a lot of time in certain places and you dedicate your whole life to working there, this is actually something that's pretty common that I've noticed doing these types of videos, is that, you know, there's like, for example, the bellhop that works at the Banff Springs Hotel, and there's other employees that work in different places for a long period of time. They really just are passionate about their job and end up actually haunting it in their afterlife. So Stevie is no different. Now the school actually features something really interesting. We never got to go inside the school, we just kind of toured the outside part of it. And apparently on the inside of the school there is some saloon doors. Now if you guys know what saloon doors are, they kind of just They're those doors that you see in old bars, old saloons, and they kind of swing like that. So you can go in and out of the kitchen area and stuff like that. So that is really interesting. But the school actually does have some saloon doors there, and they actually move on their own and they swing in opposite directions and there's no one there. That actually happens pretty often. And also caretakers of the building have reported that they've swept up debris, and the dust that they've swept up has disappeared from their brooms. Now, most of the hauntings, it seems, are more so related to the top floor of the school. So this happens mostly on the top floor, and teachers slash other workers that work at the school have reported feelings of unease, especially when they're at the school late in the evening, and they've requested that they don't work on the top floor, or that they stay away from the top floor if they are in the building pretty late into the evening, which isn't uncommon for teachers. Stevie is described as not a malicious ghost. He's someone that still takes pride in his job, and it seems that he's there to actually take care of the school, to protect it, and not so much to harm people or to keep them away from the school. It's more like he's just there still doing his job in the afterlife. So that is the story of Stevie the janitor and the Hillhurst School. Now we're gonna get into the Rileys next. The Rileys are a huge part of Kensington, and one of the Rileys, which, you know, Riley Park is in Kensington. There's a lot of things that were, you know, named after the Riley family. They were a very affluent, very prominent family in Calgary in its early days. Now, before I talk about Ezra Riley and the haunting of Riley Park, we are going to be talking about the Old Grace Hospital. So if you have been to Kensington, you know that there is actually an old hospital slash healthcare facility in that area. It's no longer operating as a hospital. I think it's just clinics now, I want to say. But back in the day, this used to be a hospital called the Grace Hospital. So the Grace Hospital is said to be haunted by Maudine Riley. I'm hoping I'm saying her name correctly. So Maudine is described to be haunting the maternity ward of the hospital. It is alleged that she died during childbirth, and she is seen in the windows and around the building, specifically in the maternity ward. Now, Maudine's ghost is said to be holding her baby, and she walks around the hospital, specifically around the area where she died, around the maternity ward and surrounding room. There have been multiple reports of patients seeing a woman holding a baby in the hallway at night. People report hearing bangs and moving pipes. I'm not sure what the term moving pipe actually means. I don't know if they mean like clinking pipes or something like that. And it is said that staff and patients avoid certain rooms at night because there is a feeling, like a strong feeling of unease, like there's someone else, there's another presence around them. Now, I was talking about Riley Park earlier, so this is a great segue into Riley Park. And there's actually a statue of Maudine and her child just memorizing her. So that is the haunting of the Grace Hospital, and let's move on to Ezra Riley. Ezra Riley was a politician slash rancher that owned a lot of the land around Sunnyside and Hillhurst. He actually provided the land where Riley Park is now currently on. He donated it to the city, and Riley Park is, of course, named after him. So he is said to be seen as a phantom slash doppelganger in the park, which is a little creepy because honestly, I don't walk around in parks at night anymore. I kind of used to because, I don't know, back in the day that was my way of having fun, I guess. It's just like going to different parks at night, stargazing and all that stuff, you know, when life was simple back then. I don't do that anymore, and I think it's a little scary to be, you know, a female going into parks and stuff at night, especially in the city. It's kind of, yeah, not something that I would want to do, although I'm sure there's still people that go to Riley Park at night, walk their dogs and stuff like that. And Riley Park is generally how I feel is really like calming place. I don't find it really scary. I don't find, you know, it's not like overgrown or anything like that. It's usually very well taken care of, and it's just a really beautiful park in Kensington. So in the daytime. But I can honestly tell you, other than going on the ghost tour and walking through Riley Park, I haven't been there to experience it at night. However, there is said to be a phantom ghost that lives in the park, and it is Ezra's doppelganger. And I'm not really too sure what that means. I was kind of looking it up online. I know what a doppelganger is. It's like someone that looks like someone else, like exactly. It's like you're basically like you finding your twin, that's your doppelganger. But I don't know how this ghost or phantom correlates to Ezra being a doppelganger. I don't know if he's found in different places in the park at the same time. I'm kind of unclear on what that exactly means. But there's figures consistent of Ezra Riley around the Memorial Garden specifically. And I just kind of asked ChatGPT a little more on the area to, like, you know, to ask what a doppelganger is, and it's basically a ghostly double that's less clear than a regular apparition. So there is that. Okay, now moving on to buildings that I couldn't find any history on about being haunted, but that were part of the ghost tour. Honorable mentions, let's say. So number one was the Oolong Tea House in Kensington. It's a really cool building. A really cool looking cafe. I've never actually been there, and I've been to a lot of, you know, these like hipster foodie places in Calgary. I've lived here, you know, for a very long time, but I actually haven't been to the Oolong Tea House. But again, honorable mention, the old Julio Barrio building apparently has some spirits living in it. Again, couldn't really find too much information about it online, but that was also part of the ghost tour. Now we moved on to the Plaza Theater, which actually used to be an auto shop back in the day and reopened as the Plaza Theater in Kensington. And honestly, if I was doing a ghost tour and like was wanting to find haunted places to go to in Kensington and Inglewood and stuff like that, I would definitely start off with the theaters, because these theaters are so historic looking. There's such just old architecture that I would just assume that there would be some kind of spirit haunting it. I don't know, I honestly feel like there should be, because, you know, it's been a theater for a while, and I'm sure that people that have worked there really like their job there and have stayed there for a long period of time, you know, just like our first ghost, Stevie. But I couldn't find anything about the Plaza Theater to confirm whether or not it's haunted or not, but I'm just adding it again as an honorable mention. It's a really cool building, and my favorite thing to do there actually is to go to the Rocky Horror Picture Show for Halloween. I only did it one time. I love that movie, and I only went the one time, but it was a lot of fun. People are really into it. It's a cult classic. They were throwing rice at the wedding scene and stuff like that. So yeah, the Plaza Theater is a lot of fun, and it's a super cool looking building. And last but not least is the Kensington pub. I believe when we were on our ghost tour, there was something about the bathroom of the building being haunted. But again, I couldn't find any credible information, any sources about it online. I like to look through kind of like old newspaper clippings and stuff like that if I can find them, but honestly couldn't find a whole lot on the Kensington pub. But during our ghost tour, it was mentioned that the bathroom in the building is haunted, and I could kind of see that because I did go into the Kensington pub. That's the only building that I went into that night, because that's where we ended up having dinner ultimately. So I kind of filmed around the inside of the building. The outside of the building is a really cool building, super old, definitely giving like old pub vibes if that makes sense. You know, it's very similar to things like the Cat and the Fiddle, the old Rose and Crown. It's called something else now, but I did videos on both of those haunted pubs. It's kind of the same vibe. Honestly, the food is really amazing there, and the washroom is in the basement, so it very well could be haunted. and there's very little information that I could find on this place as well. So I'm not gonna give you guys false information. If you want to go there and check it out, go there for the food, if anything. And overall, the ghost tour through Kensington was really informative and it was fun. It was a fun ghost tour, I will say. If you guys want to do it yourself, definitely check it out for the month of October. I've done some free ghost tours in the past that took us through Inglewood and through downtown, and I actually almost prefer the free ones. They were fun and they were free, and you know, in this economy we love free. So if you can find a free one that'll take you through Kensington, that would be super awesome. But it is a local business that you're supporting if you do decide to go through the Calgary ghost walks. And yeah, that is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you are not already subscribed, please go ahead, click that subscribe button below. I upload 3 times a week, Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday. And remember, all of my Spooktober videos are going to be on Wednesdays for the month of October, all the way to the end of October. So stay tuned for next week. I'm hoping you guys like what's coming up, and I will see you soon. Bye.